What is going on, my YouTube fam? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Omar Pineda, your Austin realtor with eXp Realty, and today we are in the city of Manor, Texas, in a community called Mustang Valley, and the builder we're looking at is KB Homes. Now, this is one of 3 model homes that they have for you to view, and this particular one is going to be perfect if you're looking for a guest bedroom on the first floor and all the remaining primary and secondary bedrooms on the second floor. This floor plan is going to be a really good fit. Now, also, if you're really big on open concepts, KB Homes definitely, I would say, describe most of their floor plans. They usually have something called the Great Room that we're standing in now. That is the open concept where for the dining space and the living room space. You can see they have a very spacious kitchen, all in this great room area. Now, this home is professionally staged, as the models tend to do. And keep in mind that the model homes are typically have a few more upgrades than when you walk into an inventory home. So that's also something to note. Also note that was electric. This is an all-electric community. So if you're looking for natural gas, then I could definitely find that for you. Just wouldn't be this particular community. Now we're going to be making our way towards the front half of the home, where if you look on their website, they kind of have it marked as a den towards the front end of the house, which is almost like a second living space. But the builder decided to go ahead and upgrade that to another bedroom on the first floor, so you can see what that looks like, which is definitely on trend because a lot of people moving to Austin, they really want at least one bedroom on the primary floor for their guests, or if they have their grandparents staying over. Anybody who just has trouble with stairs, that's why they want a bedroom on the first floor. And then this home definitely checks that box. I think KB Homes has a pretty good website for looking at the different options and just the way how intuitive it is, and I think it's really, really good. So if you want to mess around with the options and the upgrades, you could definitely see what that looks like. But if you want to know the pricing, that's only something that I can get for you, because the builders are very, very particular on who they share that with. But I've built some really good relationships over the years with a lot of the new construction salespeople out in Austin. So that's something that we can definitely take a look at together. So here's a nice ensuite bathroom. So typically, if you're going to be doing a bedroom, then they're going to build a full ensuite bathroom. If they didn't, if it was just still a den, then let me see what that would look like. I think it would be just a powder room, it would just be a powder room and the den. So not a full bath. So something to keep in mind. So this floor plan is 2280. One thing about KB Homes is they make it simple. So that's over 2,800 square feet. And we are looking at 4 bedrooms and 3 baths. So definitely a 2-story, 2-car garage. And again, that guest bedroom's on the first floor, and that primary bedroom, along with the washer and dryer, is on the second floor. That's something to note. So the best thing about having a 2-story home is that it's typically going to come with a loft or a game room area that we're in now, which a lot of my buyers who are looking for 2 stories, they love this side. They love it because, I mean, that's the second floor they could use. It could be just more lived in, and that way they can keep the first floor living space clean and just ready for people who come over. And that way they're not kind of stressing over that fact. So that's a big, big bonus and a big perk for having a 2-story home. And you kind of get a little bit more of a backyard when you have a 2-story as opposed to a 1-story. So those are some pros and cons there. Here we are now in the primary bedroom. Let me go to my map here. Yeah, in the primary bedroom, I think it's very beautifully staged. Sometimes the builder will connect you with their stager or the people who stage with the furniture, and you can purchase the furniture. So if you're a buyer and you love the way that the homes are decorated, because they're definitely typically on trend, then that's something we can discuss if that's within your budget. Now, one thing that they did here, which I love, is they have the walk-in closet right before you enter the master bath, which is a huge advantage, because a lot of the feedback I get from my buyers is that when you have the walk-in connected to the master bathroom like that. And if you take hot showers, all that steam goes into your clothes. And most of the time, you need like a dehumidifier or something, especially if you have a lot of nice clothing. That's something to keep in mind when you have the walk-in closet through the bathroom, right? This one they did it outside, which is really, really nice. So upstairs, we're going to be looking at the remaining 2 bedrooms upstairs. Again, very spacious, very spacious. I think that looks like a full bed to me. And you could definitely fit a little bit bigger depending on how your furniture is. And that's one thing to keep in mind, especially with the open concepts, is the furniture you currently have. Sometimes it can work, sometimes it doesn't, depending on the table, especially for the dining room table. Usually the living room furniture, most of my bars can make it work, but it's that dining room set that always trips people up, depending on how the space flows. So that was 1 bedroom number 1, and here's bedroom number 2 for upstairs. Again, a big part of these videos is just seeing how nice, getting ideas for how you can decorate the room, especially, they have a nice painted wall right there. So it's just painting one wall just adds so much depth, and just makes the room pop a little bit, especially if the furniture kind of matches it. So very well done here. So some quick facts about the community: 2.58 tax rate. Not my favorite. I typically like to see tax rates at 2% or less, but the proximity to this community to downtown Austin, I think is this community is in I believe a mud or PID district, so you're going to see a little bit more in taxes in that sense. But I'll double check me on that. I'm not quite sure, but 2.5, that's gonna be a little bit high on the taxes, but we can make the numbers work when we dive deeper, especially with what we offer in terms of buying the home. We can definitely get you into your comfort zone when it comes to your mortgage price point. So the HOA is $60 a month. That's not too bad. This community does not have a pool, but it does have some nice features, like I think I saw a dog park, some walking trails, some sport courts that we're going to see here a little bit later. I got some drone shot of that, so we'll be able to take a look at that together. And a big plus about this community is that it's within minutes of the high school. So if you have kids that are in that high school age, then this would be a very convenient community because it's so close. We'll be able to see it too. I got that on my drone as well. Now, there currently are financial incentives for KB Homes that's going to help you a little bit with the interest rate buy down, or maybe help pay for some closing costs. These incentives change daily, and so keep it up with that, and especially with someone like me who keeps a pulse on the marketplace when it comes to new construction, is vital for you to scoop up the best deals and getting a home with the floor plan that really checks a lot of your boxes. That way it's a win-win scenario for everybody. Okay, so here's that drone shot I promised you. Look at these nice paved walking trails. You have the dog park there. That's a lot of open space for you to enjoy. Okay, so it may not have the pool, but it does have some amenities that I think are pretty nice for the area. And this isn't a huge master plan community. I think KB Homes is the only builder in this little pocket neighborhood, I like to call it. So you wouldn't have construction for the years to come. It would just be for a few more homes. Okay, that was the playground, the basketball courts, and that's the high school right there in the background that I was saying. So look how close it is to this community. Now you can see they are still moving dirt. They still have some opportunities. So if you really are particular about your lot location, you want to be at the corner or maybe at the end of a cul-de-sac, there might still be opportunities left by the time you're probably watching this video. And if there's not, there are so many more communities being built around the nearby area that we'll take a look here right now. So that was the end of that tour. I'm going to share my screen so you can see a little bit of more of what I'm talking about here. Let me just make that bigger. Okay, now check this out. So this is Mustang Valley, right? It's kind of within 30 to 40 minutes of downtown Austin. So not super close. You're going to have to take the 290 to get to Austin. The 290 is a hit or miss. I personally don't like it too much, but I hope they expand it. And there's always alternate routes to get downtown, right? You could take the 130 if need be, if the 290 is a little bit congested. And because that is like the main highway to get from Elgin and Manor, everyone who lives there, to get to, if you're going west towards Austin, right? But if you're working maybe off Palmer Lane, which is another tech corridor where there's a bunch of, I think Samsung and Dell and definitely Apple or on there. Where's Palmer Lane? I'll find it. That's it right here. So here's Palmer Lane, and that's fairly close to, or pretty, I would say, easy access from this community. And then you just go on 290 and then go up Palmer Lane, and there's a lot of businesses. Loft Tech is where they're set up, and everything you see in orange here are other builders in the area. So like I said earlier, if this builder in this community we can't find what you're looking for, we have neighbors nearby, and this is all new construction that we can definitely find something that definitely checks your boxes, and hopefully we can scoop up the best incentives so I can get you the most bang for your buck. And again, the big advantage here is if you have anybody in high school, that's going to be very convenient. But say you don't really have high school, I think you have Shadow Glen Elementary nearby, and everything's not terribly far away. And then here's the middle school, so not terribly far. That's another high school. There's two high schools, I guess. Shadow Glen Elementary, and this is another elementary school. So everything's pretty close from this community, but just the high school is what's extra. I mean, right there, we saw how close it was. You could see it from the community. Let's go back to my nice map here. This is a living document. I add to this all the time to keep track of, because this is how much new construction is happening around Austin. I mean, if you kind of zoom out here, you really get a good grasp for all of it. I'm tracking the schools, the builders in the area, and there's only more underway, right? If I click this little button, you can see all the development projects. Let me just take out this and this so you can kind of see better. These are all the development projects that are happening in the area that I'm tracking. Isn't that nuts? If let me know in the comments. I could do a whole deep dive on this alone, and we can kind of do it by quadrant, because there's so much. Like I could do it for just Manor, Texas. I could do it for Elgin. I could do it for Hutto. Depending on what you guys want to see, I can accommodate you. Okay, so that's a little bit of what's going on in the nearby area. And again, I guess the big draw to this area is because Tesla's not too far off from here. This is a gigafactory right here off the 130 toll. And then this whole little Elon Musk has pretty much taken over like East Austin in the sense of like where he's establishing his businesses. You have the Tesla Gigafactory right there. That's the Neuralink campus. What is this? I want to say I saw another one here. The Hyperloop Plaza. That belongs to Elon. And was one more. I want to say there was one more, but the big draw is the Tesla Gigafactory. And up north, if you go up to Taylor, up here. So I mean, this is kind of like the area we're looking at. That's not too far off from. This is where Samsung is building their huge semiconductor facility in Taylor, Texas. So you have this community is almost sandwiched in between two giants, Samsung and Tesla. So that's going to be great for future home values as well. So there you have it. That's a little bit about what's happening in the nearby area. If you want to work with me, then I'll have all my subscription. I'll have all my information in the description, so you can either call or text, or even better yet, let's set up a discovery call. I actually prefer that, because that way we can dive a little bit deeper into your situation. Usually if you call me or text me, like, we'll chat really quick, just so I can, you can hear my voice and see that I'm real, but I'll always kind of steer you to do that discovery call. That way we can really take a deep dive into your situation, and I can share my screen again and go a little bit more into detail about just everything about the builder, the community, the floor plan. We're really going to narrow down your criteria and narrow down the community that's going to be a best fit based on your lifestyle and your price point, and pretty much how you best want to take advantage of all of what Austin has to offer, because there is a ton of stuff. We're experiencing so much hyper growth. If you're watching the news, Austin is definitely not a part of that conversation, because we're almost the opposite. We have a surplus of inventory. That's why we're seeing prices kind of either drop or kind of maintain where they're at. But builders are still offering some amazing financial incentives. Okay, that's it for this video. Smash that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you want to keep up with all things new construction. I even do a lot of fun videos doing my tours around downtown or the Austin area for cool things to do, because there's so much that Austin has to offer. And just stay tuned for all that. My name is Omar Pineda. I'm your Austin realtor with eXp Realty. Catch you in the next one.